Hello and welcome to the Pitchside Studio. Lots to talk about. The series is done. Bangladesh have won it by 2-0. I've got Bazid Khan and Pakistan head coach Jason Gillespie alongside me. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you.
I'll start with you, Jason. If you were to put it in a nutshell, the two games, what are the areas of major concern to you after this series and, quick turnaround to England?
Yeah, it is a quick turnaround and obviously a disappointing series. And as you mentioned, Bangladesh outplayed us. It's as simple as that. Certainly the areas we need to work on. I think if we start with our batting, I think what we did well was we got in, we got starts. Unfortunately, we just couldn't go on. We had two guys score centuries in the first Test match, but we did get a lot of starts. We got a lot of small partnerships that were developing. But then we just lose a couple of wickets in a clump, and that just really put us on the back foot, and it's really difficult to recover from that. So certainly the lessons we can take from a batting perspective is once we get in, let's make sure someone goes big and gets that big total, get those big partnerships happening, because that's how you drive the game forward. And unfortunately, we just haven't been able to do that. Again, with the ball as well, I think. Similar vein, we bowl well in patches. We have a good spell, then a not so good spell. And Test cricket is played over 5 days. We need to make sure that we're consistent and disciplined and focused throughout the day, throughout a session, throughout the whole day, throughout the whole match. And if we can improve those areas, that'll go a long way towards us improving our performances.
Yeah,
when you look at
one view that is circulating is that a side looks slightly undercooked. You talked about bowling in patches, batting in patches. Now, these guys haven't, obviously very early in the season, haven't played first-class cricket coming into this series. Now, the concern now, is this a concern for you as well? Because next series, starting October 7th, there's no first-class cricket in between.
Yep. That's a good point, Baz. And unfortunately, I can't control schedules. All we can do is focus on getting our players ready to go for the next series. They'll have some white ball cricket coming up in September for the teams that have been announced. But we'll just try and get the boys together. As red ball coach, in an absolute ideal world, yes, you'd have some first-class cricket for the players to play at this time. But unfortunately, the schedule at this point in time doesn't allow for that, and the way it is. So we just have to make sure, as a support staff, that we can identify ways to best prepare going into that series against England. So the players will go and play in the white ball competition, and then we'll get them back for camp, and we can start best preparing for that series.
You go back to the first Test match, you feel that there was a heavy reliance on the pitch that was prepared and 4 seamers, and then, according to your camp, it didn't really react the way you expected it to?
Look, we went in with the 4 fast bowlers. We thought that was our best way of winning the match, and after being put in to bat and losing 3 early wickets, we actually regrouped and posted what we thought was a very competitive score. We wanted to drive the game, so we wanted to have a bowl at Bangladesh on that second evening, and because there was a little bit of weather about, which we lost a little bit of time, but we felt that we were driving the game forward. Full credit to Bangladesh. They fought through some tough periods and batted very well. And then probably our second innings batting, we didn't do well in both games. So that's certainly an area that we need to focus on and something for us to improve for sure.
Was it the two key moments in the 2 Test matches? Probably the first one, Pakistan declares and then loses by 10 wickets. In the second one, 26 for 6, and then the opposition is allowed to get back into the game. So where will you identify? Is it the bowling, or is it, like Jason said, that the batting hasn't really come to the party as yet?
The one major difference between the two sides throughout the 2-match series has been that whenever Bangladesh were put under pressure, they found a way to come back and then regain that sort of ascendancy. When Pakistan were put under extreme pressure, they did not find a way, and that shows that overall we say yes, Bangladesh was the better side, but the moment that they won, now nobody would expected some side to come back from 26 for 6. Nobody would expected that after having been in the field and the opposition scoring 440 odd, you take a lead with the bat. So whenever they were under pressure, they came back. And I reckon also you look at the bowling overall match fitness. I think the speeds tell you a story. The Bangladeshi bowlers in their second, third, fourth spell would maintain their speed. I think there was a little bit of dip when the Pakistani bowlers bowled. So it goes back to maybe being undercooked, or it also goes back to winning those moments and being able to come back into the game when you're put under extreme pressure.
The first test match, Jason, must be a tough call to leave Naseem and Shaheen out. We've been the spearheads of the attack.
Yep.
What was the decision behind that, and how were you looking at the second test with 3 days gap in between?
Yeah, we certainly made some calls that people believe is tough. Always, whenever players are left out, there's always discussion. We like to think we want to have a squad mentality, and looking ahead, we've got lots of cricket. The game here, we felt the attack that we put on the park, we were able to do the job, and we could argue that they did. We had the opposition 26 for 6. But as Baz mentioned, they fought hard and fought themselves back into the game. So, at that point in time, not many people were saying that we're talking about selection. Obviously, with Shaheen, we feel that he's going to be a really important part in all formats going forward. It's a very busy period. We looked at how he bowled in the first test match, and while we thought he bowled decently, we feel there's areas that can improve, not just with him, with all our bowlers. But ultimately, when we came to selection, we just looked at conditions. We saw the surface here, and we thought this was the best makeup of the attack to take the wickets on this surface. And as I said, we had Bangladesh under a bit of pressure. Full credit to them; they fought their way out of that.
The other question that comes to mind, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this as not, but you're captain, the leader of the group. Now, losing to Bangladesh at home in Pakistan, there will be a reaction. Now, he's only captain 5 test matches, but now there'll be a discussion about moving forward. How much backing does he have? Are you fully confident that the core of the team or the leadership of the group will stay the same?
Yeah, look, I'm really confident of that. Look, whenever a team loses, there's always going to be people in the media asking questions, and that's fine. That's the media's job. My job is to help best prepare our players to play the best cricket. We haven't played the best cricket that we know we can in these first 2 test matches. We've identified some of the areas that we need to work on. I thought you made a couple of good points, with our batting and our bowling. Certainly with our bowling, we know that we need to be as fit and as robust as we possibly can if we want to compete for 5 full days in Test cricket. Look, Shan, I feel, has led the side very well. We just haven't played well as a team, and that's the reality. We need to play better as a team. Those areas that I've identified, we need to sharpen up, and we will sharpen up on those. But we've just got to make sure that we take a breath, have some clear thinking. But I really want to back and believe these players. They are good enough, and they've shown glimpses in this Test series of just how good we are. We just need to do it more often. That's what Test cricket's about. You can't have a good day and expect to win a match. You have to have session after session, day after day. And that's what we need to learn. We need to do that better. And if we do that, I'm very confident that we'll have some success.
One last question. I wouldn't ask you to compare the 2 bowling attacks, Bangladesh and Pakistan, but what impressed you the most, if it did, about the young fast bowlers from Bangladesh, and what were they doing right?
Yeah, look, impressive young bowlers, aren't they? And I think what they did, they showed that if you're just disciplined and patient, you can get rewarded in Test cricket. And that's certainly something that I've spoken to our bowlers about over these 2 Test matches. Test match bowling is about discipline and patience. The game is a long time, and the game can quicken up. As we saw in both these games, the game started off relatively quiet, relatively slowly, and the game's quickened up when it came to the 3rd and 4th innings. So, we just need to hang in there and stay patient. And I think the Bangladesh bowlers just did exactly that. They just hung in there, they stayed patient, and they got their rewards of that patience. And when we did that, we got our rewards as well, but we just didn't do it probably as long as we know we need to, and that's a real lesson for us going forward. And look, that's a real focus for our bowlers to get ready for that next series against England.
Well, Jason, hard luck for this series, and wish you best of luck start of the season. Lots of games to come. Thank you for joining us.
No worries. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, time for us to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Athar Ali Khan. Welcome back once again to the pitchside studio. Happy faces, big day for Bangladesh, big day for my friend Athar Ali Khan alongside me. These pictures mean a lot.
Yeah, it's nothing about me, it's all about them. What they have achieved, it's simply magnificent. And I hope this will bring some joy to the people of Bangladesh who suffered a natural calamity recently due to the flood situation. Thoughts and prayers for their safety, but what a moment this is. They will enjoy this for a very, very long time. So will I. But this means so much for the people of Bangladesh back home, because knowing that Bangladesh has never tasted victory in Test cricket against Pakistan. Not only that, they achieved that in the first Test match, and also going on to make a clean sweep. It's simply unbelievable performance from Bangladesh, and congratulations to Nazmuddin Shantu and company for achieving this historic victory.
When you say that doesn't happen every day, it brings a question to my mind that what, according to you, has been the key factors, because this is not an overnight achievement. To be performing as a team, as a unit like this has to be hard work for some time.
Yeah, it is hard work and determination. That's exactly what the words from Hassan Mahmood when Bazid spoke to him after the match. And it has been hard work. They've gone close to pick up victories, but somehow it has not happened in the past, especially in Test cricket. So it also shows that even when the chips are down, I mean, I keep going back to 26 for 6, you can produce a performance where you can still come back in a Test match to come at the top in the end by winning it by 6 wickets. I mean, that's simply amazing. Collective effort, the belief has gone stronger, and not relying on one or two players, I think, has been key. Madison Miraj has been simply magnificent. He's turning out to be a genuine all-rounder. Always thought he was a genuine all-rounder, but he's got the numbers to match to go with him.
When you talk about Bangladesh performance, especially you talk about Test matches, fast bowlers, the good thing is you see young fast bowlers coming in away from home performing. So this is the beginning of a new era in terms of fast bowlers to take over from Taskin and others.
Yeah, what I've been able to gather is that this has been a process which was started quite a long while back. You've got Otis Gibson, you've got Alan Donald now, you've got Andre Adams, and they've worked on this platform of producing fast bowlers.
Also Courtney Walsh.
Courtney Walsh. So fast bowlers will win you series outside of your home. Outside of Bangladesh, you need fast bowlers, and that's what they worked at. I remember the Asia Cup, and Alan Donald pointed out Hassan Mahmood. He said this is a youngster who has most of the skills required to succeed at international cricket. It's not only the fact that they bowl quick, it's not only the fact that they've been able to hold their own and be consistent. The other factor here that is behind the scenes is these guys have, in heat, right now we're feeling the heat, it's very humid, and they're not once shown that it is getting to them. So their fitness levels, I think, have been much better than the Pakistani fast bowlers. Their speeds have been consistent throughout their first, second, third spell, and they're able to then multiply that pressure on the batters because of the fact that they've been match fit, and also the preparation coming in. Mashfiq talked about practicing at home in similar conditions for quite a while. So the preparation towards the Test series has been spot on, and that has shown the way that they've been in the field, the way that they bowl, even the concentration in the batting. That is all to do with preparation of your skill and your fitness.
You talk about Bangladesh, young captain in Shanto, and then having a young fast bowling attack, and skill is something else. But to have them work and understand their roles and to be so disciplined, especially someone like fast bowler like Nahid Rana, and of course you mentioned Hassan, it's just everything seemed like Bazat said earlier on, they seem like a more prepared side.
Yeah, everything seems to fall in the right place, and it's not just a journey, a short journey. It has been a long journey. We've had seamers in the past, we've played test matches in the past, but we haven't seen anything like this before. This energy, this new brand of cricket, not only from the bowlers, but also from the batters, that yes, if there is an opportunity, I'm going to take the responsibility. Perhaps there were others who have done that in the past, but now the newer generation, the next generation of players will be looking at this test match, this test series, and this will seriously spur them up, because this is a great example of team not relying on one or two players. I mean, it's a team game, and he's rightly pointed out, Bazit, fitness level, they've been working seriously on their fitness level. It's not just fitness level, also comes the fact that their eating habits have been changed. They know exactly the amount of calories they need to take and the amount of calories they need to burn, how much time they would need to work on specific muscles in the gym, and also the skills in the nets to develop themselves in such a form that they can come good against high quality opposition. I mean, the result is right in front of them at the moment, but the bigger challenge is ahead. So you should, as a team, you cannot be settled what they have achieved. Yes, well done, Bangladesh, but let's get better and stronger.
Talking about calories, Atharbai has had his year's calories in these 2 weeks in Pakistan.
The tense moments.
Yeah.
In the gym too.
You see, he talks about the preparation, everything. It's also a matter of self-belief. Beating New Zealand in New Zealand in their conditions, that also must have added to their confidence. And then you produce performances like Player of the Series, Mehdi Miraz, first Player of the Series award for him away from home. So it seems like a fair mix of young fast bowlers, experienced all-rounders, and then someone like Mushfiq.
I think Mehdi was phenomenal. The way that he's bowled, the way that he's batted. It was quite a decisive difference between the sides. The spinners of Bangladesh and the spinners of Pakistan, and he led the charge. Those 4 wickets on the final day in the first Test match, and then 5 wickets in the first innings, and then with the bat. And the runs that he scored have actually turned the game around, and the pressure that he's applied being consistent with the ball. So yeah, they're going in absolutely the right direction. And you look at the bowling attack and you think you've got pace, you've got seamers who can swing the ball, and then you've got quality spinners in the ranks. They've always had spinners. So now it's a complete bowling attack. And once you have a complete bowling attack, then you can challenge any side anywhere.
It's rewards galore for Bangladesh for their hard work that they produced here, and that has affected in a positive way on the ICC World Test Championship. They started when they came to Pakistan at number 8, and look at where they have ended after 2 games at number 4. Athar?
Yeah, this is incredible, isn't it? They've just gone on top of South Africa and England. Yes, if you look at the number of test matches that the other teams have played, they've only played 6. But having said that, the 6 test matches they've played under the captaincy of Nazmul and Shanto, and out of the 6th, he has won 3. That is incredible, isn't it? And to be able to do that, so they have quite a few more test matches to play in this cycle. That's the reason why I said earlier that you cannot be satisfied what you have achieved. Yes, brilliantly done, magnificent victory, but whether we can go and repeat what we did here as a team against different opposition. Bangladesh go to India. In September, they take on India, play 2 test matches. So I think that's where what is important for them to realize that, yes, we've done it in the past. Let's go and do and repeat this again.
One last question, Bazit, as we move on. I'm sure all the viewers will be interested in this. That month or less turnaround time when England comes, you can't chop and change. You can, but you can't bring form back. So what can be the key factors that Pakistan management can look into and be prepared for the next?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. I asked Jason this. You don't have any first-class cricket going into that test series. So even though you may have identified 20 players or 15 players, they will not be having match practice again going into a 3 test matches. Yes, white ball cricket, yes. might increase your fitness levels, but there's no substitute to running in and bowling 15 overs a day, no substitute to batting for 2, 3, 4 sessions. So it is tough. It is very tough, because I look at that preparation and I'm questioning straight away. England coming for 3 Test match series and you prepare with white ball cricket, which is quite odd. So I don't really have an answer. I do have some players who could come into the squad, but again, those players will also lack in first-class cricket. So I don't know how you go about it.
So basically, in Urdu, they say, "Hum na hi samjhe."
नहीं ना तो नहीं समझे, but the preparation again will not be ideal.
Okay. Well, Bazid, thank you so much. All the commentary stints and all the excitement that you bring in. And of course, Athar, congratulations once again.
Thank you.
For Bangladesh win and for your visit. I hope you were happy and you were taken care of. And for our viewers, thank you for joining us. Bangladesh once again winning the Test match series 2-0. And why not? Brilliant performance, outplayed Pakistan in all 3 departments. And you want to say something?
No, I just
the victory sign.
The victory sign.
Oh, the victory sign. Okay. All right. So until next time, take care of yourself. We'll see you right here with another series just at the start of the season. Until then, goodbye.